We're gonna do this. Take 5.
We got it.
I almost broke my finger.
Karate chop. You sound like you smoked 7 packs
For 18 years of my life.
I'm crying.
We'll get there.
I just gotta stop recording.
No! That's so loud. So this video is gonna be 20 minutes because we're gonna laugh and we're gonna cry and we're gonna get there. Promise.
All of it.
Woo! Okay. So, hello everybody. Welcome back to my channel. Make sure to hit the subscribe button down. Yes!
Down below. I've always wanted to do that. This is all my dreams coming true.
It's actually a lot more fun than you think. Like, you think it's kind of annoying when you're watching people do it, but it's actually really empowering.
Like, I'm awesome.
Click
subscribe down below.
We have 9, but make us 11. Do it.
No, get us to 4,000 tomorrow.
That's right. And maybe I'll jump up and down if you can give me 100 likes. But anyway, this is one of my best friends in the entire universe. I've mentioned her in probably every single one of my videos. She just loves Jesus, but she also loves people well. She loves life, and she loves makeup and anything fun.
Yes.
And she has actually started an Instagram, and I essentially can say a movement. It's going to be. And so I just wanted to talk to her and get her perspective of where her heart is at, and she's going to be married. Did you notice it? Smiling.
I'm happy.
She's getting married tomorrow. Last night is Miss Good. Not Mrs.
Not
Good.
a Mrs. yet.
False.
I will be in 24 hours.
That's right. So if you want to just introduce yourself, introduce what you do,
Sure.
and I guess why you started doing it.
Sure. So my name is Jen, and I have an Instagram called Beyond in Beauty. And it kind of just started because I really love makeup in the beauty industry. I'm a hairdresser and a nail tech and just like really obsessed with makeup. And it just started because I just want to make women feel empowered and beautiful, and for them to really learn more about like how God made them through the beauty industry. It's something that really touches all of us, whether you love makeup or you don't love makeup. And so I think some of us are intimidated by it and some of us hide behind it. And so I just wanted to bring Jesus into that you were created beautiful and with a purpose. And just kind of the word the Lord gave me from the beginning was to compliment and not compare. To compliment how he made us. Like, how do you make your eyes, your skin, your lips? Like, how do we bring out the best of those things and not compare? Because what looks good on Tanya is not going to look good on me, and maybe what looks good on me is not going to look good on you, but like, we're not going to compare those things. We want to compliment how God made us. And so it's just a simple concept on the Instagram. It's just posting product reviews, things that really work for me, skincare, some hair tips. It's just kind of a hodgepodge of things of just like, hey, this is what works in my life. This is what I really enjoy doing. And yeah, just all about empowering people, making them feel beautiful in their own skin.
I love it. And a couple things is, as a single mom, I cannot afford nor have any desire to go to Sephora or all of these stores that are extremely intimidating to someone like myself, where like I spend $5 at Walmart and get mascara and that's it. And so she has a desire, I think you said under $12 is like something that you're trying. Mm-hmm. She just wants to be realistic, but also be so fun. And we're not making fun of anyone who does these really elaborate things, because it does show your creative energy, but it's not really realistic. It's not that simple. So she wants women to just feel really empowered. Mm-hmm. Or like we talked earlier, for me personally, I had a really traumatic experience in middle school where I finally decided to wear makeup and I truly looked like Mimi. And it's funny now, but it wasn't then. And I stopped wearing any kind of makeup for probably 10 years because I was just so scared of what it would do. And I didn't think about it until right now, but for me personally, with the mental illness and the depression, I find myself wearing more makeup, I think, probably when I'm depressed and I want to like hide it. But then also sometimes you mentioned this earlier, I wear baggy clothes, or I do try to hide, and I know you weren't talking about me, but I do that. And it's part of my testimony, we'll talk eventually, but I do have a sexual assault. And so there's things that I'm like, oh my gosh, was my hair this way when it happened? Did I do my makeup this way? And so I think really targeting and addressing that fear, right?
Yeah, so kind of I was talking to Tony about earlier is I think there's two different extremes of how people try to hide. They either put all the face on, and by the end of it, they don't even look like them. They contour their nose to the point that it's not even their real nose, and they shave off their eyebrows and they put on new ones to not even look like they did before. And again, there's a very creative side of makeup that, I don't want to take away from, like, if that's how you express your art, that's beautiful. But at the same time, like, let's not hide how beautiful you are underneath it. So there's that end of the makeup. But on the other side, I have noticed that there's women that don't do anything with it. And it's not because they don't want to, they're just intimidated by it and they don't want to draw any attention to themselves. So they just decide, I'm just not going to do anything. I'm just going to hide. So there's two ways of hiding. And I just want to like bring a balance to all of that. So like she said, I like to make sure everything is under like $10-12 when I talk about it. And also like it's just very practical things. Like one of my posts was about simply how to blend your eyeshadow, like what angle to hold the brush at so you don't get creases or like get weird lines. Like it's just very practical things, because I think in talking to women, I have noticed that a lot of them say that they want to be more bold and creative and to have fun with makeup, but they're so worried about, I hear looking like a clown. Like I've been told that like 1,000 times. Like, I don't look like a clown. I don't look ridiculous. Like I don't want to draw negative attention to myself. So instead I'm just going to do nothing. And so I just want to like do really simple, easy tips that anybody can do that you feel like you can just add into your normal routine. And it just makes you feel good. We all want to feel good. We all want to feel confident in our own skin. And if figuring out how to match your foundation or how to blend your eyeshadow does that, like why not do small things like that? So that's kind of where I'm coming from.
Right. And so preparing for her wedding, I got my nails done, I got my eyebrows done, and I was like, dang, like why don't I do this all the time? Like not because I need to, not because I'm trying to impress anybody, but like I make a joke and I say like I feel like a human again. Like it's such a weird word and has such negative tones sometimes, but like grooming, it's a fun thing, and you're just really wanting to wake up and feel confident about yourself. And I don't know what that was.
That a bug? Did it die?
We were doing
getting so wild in here, guys.
We were doing so good.
We're being serious.
But no, I think the other thing is I was talking to a mentor a couple weeks ago, and he said, Tanya, I just hear you're very overwhelmed and you're very stressed. And so the next time we talk, I really want to make a point to talk about self-care. And so I've been preparing you guys for a few weeks talking about, I'm going to be interviewing these people, and I don't really know how it's going to go. And we were discussing kind of before how long we wanted it to be and what we wanted it to be like. But it's hard because Jen lives in Colorado, I live in New York. And so we have these phone conversations, but it's not that often that we can, or if ever, have these conversations. So if you guys do have questions, make sure to comment down below.
Comment down below.
I'm definitely going to put her information down there. Please follow her. She's a powerhouse. She not only has such a plethora, that was a fancy word, information in regards to makeup in that industry, but she is just such a solid woman who lives her values, and she has been Jesus in the flesh to me personally for 8 years or however long, and it hasn't always been easy. But I do have one more question.
Yeah.
Is long term, outside of t-shirts that I'm going to make her make, what is the goal? What do you see? You were talking something about not a conference or something with moms.
Yeah.
What was your heart behind that?
So kind of why I even started the Instagram, I started about a month ago, and it was, a month before my wedding, so I didn't have a lot of time to dedicate to the ultimate goal. So I was like, I'm just going to do something small. So that's where the Instagram came from. But kind of the big picture goal for me that really spurred all of this is I really love makeup, and I did, I was involved in high school ministry, junior high school ministry for 5 years. And just really about that late middle school, early high school age, really saw the breakdown in relationships between mothers and daughters. And moms wanted to have a relationship with their daughter, but they feel like they couldn't connect. and the daughters just felt like they realized that their moms couldn't connect, and there's just this weird breakdown there. And that's also about the age that girls really want to start wearing makeup, and unfortunately a lot of them don't know how to do it appropriately for their age. Like, you don't need to look 25 at 13. So how do you enter into that makeup world? How does mom release you into that makeup world and still feel, like it's age appropriate? So kind of something that I'd eventually really love to do is have like little workshops with moms and daughters, like 4 or 5 mom and daughter couples, and give them a little kit and just, let's have fun, let's play, let's figure out what works for your skin. Moms can help encourage their daughters. They can have fun. Let's put some blue eyeshadow on, because why not?
Right.
And just have like a good time bonding and connecting. I know my mom, about that age, really taught me how to do like the very bare basics of makeup that developed over time, that it's like something I'm super passionate about. And now she comes to me, she's like, how do I do this? And so it's like still a connecting point for us that's lasted, over 10 years. And so if I could pass that on to somebody else, the next generation, so that maybe it helps lessen the tension between them, I'd really love to do that. So that's kind of one of my goals.
That's cool. And what I had said earlier, as a mom, I find you kind of lose yourself, right? Like preschool, you have drop-offs, pickups, soccer, and like sometimes you're just tired and you're like, whatever, I will just put up my hair in a bun and we're going to move on. And so I think moms kind of put themselves second. And so I think that would be a really powerful thing to do for moms too. But then also, and you kind of touched on it, is moms releasing their babies into that. I think so often in our culture, we're so protective of our kids, rightfully so, but we don't know how to meet them where they're at. And so kids are like, well, if you're not going to let me do it, I'm going to do it in secret. And so there is a whole, that's what happened to me. It didn't necessarily have to do with makeup, but it had to do with normal teenage things that we didn't talk about. And so if they weren't going to tell me, I was going to go find out on my own.
Yeah.
But,
I just had one thing to say about, Beautiful Recovery, that Tanya and she's talked about it in one of her last videos, and we were talking about it today, that recovery is more than just an addiction. It's more than just struggling with alcoholism, drug abuse, whatever. It's really discovering wounds and hurts that you have in your heart and how you're going to heal from those things. I think there's a lot of women out there, whether they've been sexually abused, verbally, mentally, whatever abuse. But even if you haven't, maybe you've just always been insecure and you've just never felt enough. You've never felt like you fit the standards of what somebody told you that you should fit in. And so in that, you try to hide on one of those spectrums that I told you about, or maybe in a completely different way you try to hide. But I think recovery is really discovering those hurts and working through them, even though it sucks to have to work through it. But when you come to the other side of it, you no longer think back on experiences that once mortified you or brought so much emotional turmoil, but you can look on them and go, yeah, that happened, and now I can move on. I think that's a huge part of recovery, no matter what walk of life that you're coming from. And so I love that Tanya's doing this, and that she's bringing in people from different areas and aspects of what recovery can and is. And so you don't have to fit into a box. Like, recovery is for everybody. I don't have like this big traumatic past, but like I still had things that I had to work through in order to like be healed and whole and walk with the Lord in the fullest that He has for me. And a lot of that was like working through self-image and like learning to appreciate myself and how God made me. And as weird as it sounds, like putting on lipstick made me like, Jesus, you give me really great lips. Like, thank you, and not in a boastful way, but like appreciating like God made me like this for a reason. And putting on lipstick made me realize that like, that's awesome. So finding that thing for you of like, what can you do to really appreciate that God created you with a purpose, every aspect about you, and how can you celebrate that and honor Him with that?
Thank you for saying that. Was really sweet. And I think, obviously, I try to visit Colorado once a year. So after they celebrate a year of their marriage, maybe I will be able to interview her and Jeremy, but she's going to walk down the aisle a whole, healed, pure, righteous woman, because she took that time to really find out who God made her to be. And she didn't need a man. She doesn't need Jeremy, but Jeremy brings stuff to her. Jeremy does not need her, but she brings stuff to him. And I think identity is ultimately one of those biggest things. And whether that be in recovery or makeup or what have you, I think it's going to be really powerful to hear about how that foundation lasted throughout. So, oh my gosh, we made it to 15 minutes.
Yay!
Yay! Wait,
Well, comment down below.
you went like this.
I did. I'm a YouTuber now. Watch out, world.
No, for real, guys.
Hit
follow
that
her.
like button.
Yeah, I'm going to try and convince her to make t-shirts that say compliment, not compare, because I would rep it so hard. Like, chant that in your mind. Even, like, for me, one of the areas is I, like, sadly can just be so judgmental, and it is out of a place of insecurity. It's no one else but my own, and I'm definitely, that's like my new mantra where I'm like, all right. And even not only in myself, but for them. Like, I'm comparing them to me and me to them. Why don't I say, hey, love, like, I like your shirt. Or, hey, girl, what's up? Like, let's be friends, you know? And I think it's really cool. So there's a total of maybe 12 people with the juniors and your cousins in your wedding, give or take.
Yeah.
And we're all having the best time. Like, we all have so many different personalities, but everyone is just, like, especially all the women. We're just, like, I've never laughed so much in my entire life. It's been incredible. So definitely go follow her. I'll post her stuff. I'll links, what have you. And she's going to blast this too. So it's going to be fun. But I love you. I'm praying for you guys.
Yay. Bye, y'all.